So I used to be an avid reader. I would read every night before bed, and every morning when I wake up I would try to read for 30 minutes. I would read a lot of nonfiction books. I would even go as far as taking notes on whatever I read. Until last year happened, and then I stopped reading a lot. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how I'm planning on getting back into reading, because I do believe it's a very helpful habit. And I also want to talk about my past experiences with reading. Welcome back, my name is Jerzen. I am a fourth year medical student that likes to talk about productivity, studying, and note-taking. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about reading and my plan to get back into reading. Like I said in the intro, I used to read quite a bit. Every night before bed, instead of scrolling mindlessly through Instagram, I would actually pick up a book or pick up my iPad and read on it. I mostly read nonfiction books. One of my favorite books of all time was Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I learned a lot from that book. I even went as far as making a video about it a couple of years ago, so if you'd like to watch that, you can click here. But once the pandemic kicked off, I actually stopped reading quite a bit. And I got back into scrolling through my phone right before bed, which we all know isn't really good for us. One of the most important things you can do to get into the habit of reading is to obtain a reading mindset. I call this a reading mindset, and a lot of people have actually spoken about this before, but in a nutshell, it's basically when you treat books like articles. You have to know that you don't necessarily have to finish a book from start to end. It's not necessary. In my opinion, a lot of nonfiction books work in this way. It's one core fundamental idea with a lot of examples around it. So you don't necessarily have to read the entire book to get the gist of what the author is trying to tell you. You have to understand that you can stop wherever you want. Basically, if a book starts to seem boring to you or it's tedious to read, stop it. You don't necessarily have to go through the entire book to say that you've read it. You've got the fundamental idea, you've read the book, and that's pretty much it. Another thing that you can do to make your book reading more like article reading is to skim through the book before you read it. Look through the book's table of contents. If you think that you're going to be interested in what the author has to say, go ahead, read it. But if you think that it's not really your cup of tea, put the book down. You don't have to read it. Going with the theme of treating books like articles, one thing you can do to augment your reading is to actually look at summaries or one-page summaries of books that you've already read. This helps you in remembering what you read without actually reading the book all over again, especially if you don't make notes yourself. So the perfect example for this is Atomic Habits. I read the book 2 years ago, but I decided to actually look up the book again because I wanted to reference to it in this video, but obviously I don't remember anything. I read the book 2 years ago. So what I did was I picked up my iPad, I downloaded Shortform, and I looked up the Atomic Habits one-page summary. So like the name suggests, I got a one-page summary of the book, and with that I got the core idea, and I didn't necessarily have to read the entire 200, 300, how many pages it is. In a nutshell, Shortform creates guides for books. It's more than just book summaries because it gives you a lot more information than a standard summary does. Shortform updates the library every single week, so you get new books every single week, and the users actually get to vote on which book is published next. If you'd like a 5-day free trial of Shortform, you can head over to shortform.com/Jerzen or hit the first link in the description. The last and final thing I'm doing to get back into the habit of reading is to actually create a reading schedule. I made reading a part of my morning routine. So in the morning, I get up, I make myself a cup of coffee, and I sit down on the couch and read for at least 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but my plan is to increase that over the next couple of months. And also, if you're making a schedule, it doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to stick to it. Some days you wake up late, some days you don't really have time, especially if you plan on reading in the morning, so try to squeeze in reading somewhere else. Another really good time to actually get into reading is right before bed. Ideally, you would keep your phone outside of your bedroom, and then you would only have a book with you until you fall asleep. It's a really good way to actually improve upon your sleep. But if you use your phone as your alarm, then it's probably not possible, but still try to stay away from your phone and try to get into reading right before bed. It'll help you sleep better as well. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe for more weekly content like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.